1, 2, 1, 2.
And when she came out, she stood 6 feet tall. I looked her over, searched her for clues, but what really got me was those sexy shoes. And all I want is to catch your eye and pull you in by the hooks on your skin. And all I want is to know your name so that tomorrow we can begin again. And all I want is you in those sexy shoes. Bartender, give her a drink. I slid her a smoke and a light to think. A snake in the grass with as blue as a glow. I've got to find out everything she knows. And all I want is that cigarette to taste the lipstick on her lips. And all I want is the snake in the grass to taste the spit on her kiss. And all I want is you in those sexy shoes. And all I want is you to be my lover too. I held her close, couldn't let go, and I started talking to everybody she knows. And soon the sexy shoes were on my feet, yeah, in the palm of my hand without skipping a beat. And all I want is to hold you tight and breathe your breath right into my life. And all I want is to hear my name from your lips again and again. And all I want is you in those sexy shoes. And all I want is you to break my heart in two.
I started playing piano when I was a kid. I was 7 and we didn't have a piano, but I'd walk to my neighbor's house and play every day and let her dogs out. That was like our trade-off. And then eventually I got a piano in my room and I practiced a lot. I had very, I guess, kind of not consistent training as a kid. Didn't always like my piano teachers. So I actually ended up spending a lot of time making songs up. And because I spent so much time doing that and studying classical in between, that's really where all of my style comes from, because I didn't really understand how to listen to something and figure it out, how to play it, or that didn't come till later when I already had some pretty heavy theory background and sight reading skills and whatnot. But then eventually, I was able to kind of use all of those things to help me with, ear training and whatnot. But I decided to go into elementary music, and I got really into it, and I love it. I love teaching kids, and got a degree from UNT in music ed, and taught public school for 4 years. And then I decided one day that I just really needed to be composing and playing and performing, and so now I'm doing that.
I'll go next. Jesse, my Background, I guess, is in tuba and upright bass. Band and orchestra kid. Didn't end up pursuing music, a higher music education. I actually went on to get my master's in U.S. history. I teach history at the college level, but music is definitely my full-time hobby, and I like to pick up things that I might want to use creatively. I picked up the banjo a few years back and play that a good portion of the time now, but I still love bass. That's my favorite thing to come back to, for sure.
I'm Charla Franklin. I play the violin. I've been playing forever. I'm one of 6 siblings, and we all play different instruments. And I started when I was 3, and I didn't want to play, and I broke it. And my mom's like, I'm starting you back up at 4. And I'm really glad I stayed with it. Around 5th grade, we started the family bluegrass band. I think around 4th grade, I joined my first orchestra. And then, of course, the middle school and high school orchestra, and then the New Conservative Dallas Orchestra for youth when I was a senior. And then after that, I decided, I was originally going to go to UNC. I ended up going to BYU school instead. I did the music, a little bit of going for my BMED there. And I came back to Texas. It was way too cold. And then Poppy, met you way back at a coffee shop, and I love the style. It's very unique, very fun to play.
I'm Chelsea Danielle. I was always drawn to percussion instruments as a kid. I never did lessons or anything until you had to choose an elective in middle school, and the band performed, and I saw the percussion section, and I fell in love with them. And I remember telling my grandmother this. She goes, well, that's great, because I was a percussionist, so no wonder you like it so much. I was like, all right, well, if my grandmother was a percussionist, I'm definitely going to do it now. And the middle school program was really good, and then the high school program, they had an amazing classical program as well as marching band. And I played with the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra, which is the Dallas Symphony Orchestra's youth program. And then I toured with the Boston Crusaders Drum and Bugle Corps in 2006. I went to Texas Christian University, where I was in the classical program there as well as the drumline. And then TCU was way too expensive, and so I had to go to a community college where I did classical, steel band, all kinds of random percussion stuff there. And I auditioned for UNT and got into the program there. You know, I play with Poppy, and I love her music where I can express my classical side. I've played with hip-hop R&B groups where I get a drum machine out. I've played with rock groups where it's just an easy 2 and 4 beat. I've played with jazz ensembles where I play vibraphone. I play with singer-songwriters where I get out my djembe and my congas, so I'll just play with anyone that gives me a check.
So for songwriting, I usually am influenced by a story or an event or something that's going on, and then kind of how they talk about the art songs and then into the romantic era, where they would use the imagery from the text and create the work around that and embellishments, based on what's going on in the text. I get like some thematic material, and then I work the music, kind of integrate that into it. And then after I do that, I bring it in for everybody to kind of put their own thing on it. I pretty rarely tell you guys what to do unless there's something really specific I want.
I really appreciate my classical background playing with you, because you're a classically trained musician as well, like classically trained pianist, and so that is in your songs a lot. Like for instance, Slenderman is very classical, and so I don't think of playing the drum set as a actual drum set. I think of it as like a multi-percussion setup with a snare and a bass drum and toms, and then the beginning like using, like a suspended cymbal roll to play that, because I don't think of just playing like a standard drum kit beat to your stuff is going to work out.
They studied the divine. Books they read and cuts they made to show their sacrifice. And in the brightest hours, they longed for the moonlight, reaching out to others, also in their pride, screaming, burning. And then they heard a voice in the night calling out to them in the pale autumn moonlight, telling them the only way was human sacrifice, and should soon